The thing about Shaheen in Season 2 is they nerfed a few things. Like 2-3, 2-3 does less damage. It used to be one of the highest damaging 10 frame punishes. Now it's 23, which is still fine. Forward 2-3 used to be plus 22 on hit. Now it's a knockdown state where you can't apply the pressure that you used to do during heat, especially on neutral. Power Crush heat engager doesn't exist anymore for him and Azucena and some other characters. This is also like a bad thing that he relied on. Sidestep 2 does less damage, but it's +1 always, which means on countered and on normal hit, it's the same frame advantage that he has. The slide does also less damage. It used to do 20, now it's 17. Countered launchers are nerfed. For example, a full crouch jump for 4-1. If the second one would hit the opponent on counter hit, it would be a countered launcher, a full countered launcher. He doesn't have that anymore. So these are like main nerfs, I would say. Also a nerf is his back 3. Back 3 used to be a +3 on block and a +3 on hit move. Now, on the other hand, it does chip damage. On block, it does like 5 chip damage. Other thing that's a nerf is forward 4 on normal hit doesn't lead to guaranteed follow-up. Forward 4 now is a ballerina tailspin, 13. On block, it's 0. This is a buff. If you consider that this was -2 on block, this is a buff that it's now 0. On the other hand, his down for 3 is -13, which means people can punish it pretty strong. Not a launch punish, but still like there are really good heat engagers that are -13 frame punishes, which is unfortunate. On the other hand, when the down for 3 hits, you get a guaranteed follow-up. The back 4 is guaranteed. On the other side, which is also quite helpful for Shaheen, is that down for 3 gives a wall split on normal hits. Yeah, you can get some decent combos out of this properly. Like this. Just from the homing. But it's risky. You can't just throw it out like you used to throw out down for 3 for mid-long range homing. It's not possible. If you want to use homing, you need to do it wisely. You can't just throw it out. Down 4 does 2 damage less than in Season 1. It's not that noticeable, I would say, but still it's a nerf. But he got good things as well. What are the good things? Size of 1%, +22 on hit, and +5 on block. So you can apply kind of pressure with it. It's a pressure tool next to his wire running tool. Uncounted also leads to guaranteed follow-up. Uncounted, you get a guaranteed back 4, for example. Back 2 is 14 frames fast. You can like catch people from sidestepping because back 2 has some tracking and is evasive at the same time. The buffs is the guard break without heat leads to a guaranteed follow-up as well. So if you hit the opponent with higher round, you can hit them with back 4, which is pretty nice. So you can use it in the neutral as well for a useful tool. And the other hand, on the other hand, which is also something useful, it's +6 on block. So compared to Season 1, where it was +4, it's quite helpful to have a +6 move. Also, uncounted 1-4 leads to a full combo, which means you can do stuff like that. And 1-4 is just -13 on block, so you can kind of hit confirm it, counter confirm it. There is not much time, but there is a small delay on it. He has a new heat engager. SNK down for 1-3. SNK down for 1-3 is is a new heat engager that doesn't launch, unfortunately. That's not a launcher in heat, which is unfortunate. But you have good utility on that. In which sense? In which situation, for example? 2-3 into this. Uninterruptible by any power crush, rage art, heat burst. So if you want to end the round and apply pressure, you can do stuff like that. Punish, and then do this. Not interruptible. It is more useful while you're in heat, not to get into heat, I would say. The other buff is SNK 1+2. SNK 1+2 is +4 instead of +2 on block. Why is it that good? You have basically frame traps out of it. When someone wants to do Y-Standing 4, your Y-Standing 1 will interrupt them, counter them, and you get a guaranteed follow-up, which is pretty cool. Also, the other thing on counter hit is the SN on counter hit, it is +14, which means you get guaranteed down back to 1, or in season 2 you get even back 2. +14 frame punish, which is mid, not a high. Another nerf that Shaheen had, forward 3 used to be a countered launch. Now in this season, it is +15 on counter hit, which means you get this guaranteed. Or this, for the maximum damage. If you want to be fancy, you can cancel it and do Y-Standing 3-3. If you don't want to activate heat and wall spread, for example. If you don't want to enter, but it's actually a nerf. You get way less damage because on countered forward 3 used to be a countered. Now it's just a guaranteed follow-up. The things that I mentioned overall are mostly nerfs for Shaheen. What he also got new, which is also important, is a new heat smash. His new heat smash is a low. The old heat smash in season 1, which he had during his SNK stance, is now accessible for every time. It doesn't matter if he is an SNK or not. It's a 20 frame low wall split, or hard wall splits. On the other hand, the old heat smash he had in season 1 is replaced by a new input and new property. 4 for 1+2. It does less damage though. It used to be 50 damage, 55 or 50 damage without rage. Now it is around 32 damage and costs half of your heat. It is 50% that costs this. But on block you are +4, which used to be +6. And the opponent is crouch, I think. The low heat smash is -14. I think every low heat smash in this season is -14. There's no -15 low heat smash. Like this is you have basically a very good mix up during heat between the low heat smash and back 1. They have similar speed. So if you want to like mix them up, it's like back 1 or this. Yeah, pulse is -12. But if we compare season 2 Shaheen to season 1 Shaheen and the overall environment that in season 2 exists, he is a weaker character overall. Why? The combo damage or his combo routes are basically the same. There is no real difference on that. In very few situations you need to adjust the combo or you can change things, but his combo damage basically the same, while on the other hand the other characters combo damage is higher, so this means that his combo damage is one of the weaker characters, a character that does less combo damage than other characters. or like average. This is unfortunately. So there's nothing new that they added for his combo. Like sidestep 1+2 is another combo tool, and down 1 the same. I didn't mention about down 1. Down 1 is a very good like neutral tool to enter the pressure compared to down 3. Down 3 is also like overall better. It does less damage and it's riskier. Down 3 is -14. Down 1 is -13. So against certain characters, using down 3 down 1 makes more sense since you can't get launched. A buff to Shaheen's sidestep 2, it's -12. He only had down 4 as a -12 low. Now he has sidestep 2 as well. Or even full cross jump for 2. If you cancel it perfectly, it's still -12. But you need to be frame tight. Yeah. His tracking is not the best. Still, he has sidestep 1+2, which is a great pressure tool, and he needed a pressure tool, but can be stepped. Down 1 can be stepped. And it's 20 frames, so it's borderline seeable, and it's steppable to both directions. His new heat engager, it is like a move that you shouldn't throw out usually. There are a few situations, maybe to close out the round, where this can be helpful. Imagine Shaheen is on the wall, and I want to do the heat engager SNK down for 1-3 heat dash. It's 61 damage. I don't get a full combo. I'm putting myself in the spot where I put this move safe, but I lose the wall split property. For example, okay, another combo I do properly. I can't save it. I'm wasting time. $81, and I still have heat. This is something like you need to commit. It's like Dragunov's 1-1. Maybe you can confirm it and don't heat dash if the first one is on hit. But I hadn't had the energy so far. He had a homing move that was safe, mid, and kind of long range, down for 3. Now you don't have any long range move that beats sidestep. Opponents that sidestep in a safe way. You always need to commit. Down for 3 is a risk. Forward 4 even is a risk, because when people duck, they can launch you for that. So you don't have anything long range move, that tracks and beats the sidestep. That's very unfortunate for Shaheen. He excels in short range gameplay, and you need to be close range with him. But having a like tracking move that would cover like the long range sidestepping opponents would be very nice. And most of his tools don't track that much. Okay, here and there his hop kick does track in one direction. His down for 1 does take one direction. But the thing is, down for 1, not that much reward. It's okay. The hop kick is a reward, but it's also like a risk. If you don't have a poke compared to other characters who can like check up their opponents with some decent tracking move, like Brian's 1+2, Claudius back 1, Law's back 1, Law's back 4. Like there is nothing mid-ish that Shaheen can use to beat these sidesteppable opponents. I figured a move out that is pretty good with its tracking, which is back 2. Back 2 has some tracking, but it's not consistent. So if you want to beat someone's tracking, after a few months we will figure out how to use down 2, or we need to use that. But he's still vulnerable to sidestep, which is unfortunate. Down for 3 being minus 13, but having always a guaranteed follow-up, I don't know if it's worth it. I would rather have, it sounds weird, not to have a minus 13 homing and wall split. Like, I would prefer a not wall split move that is unsafe to a safe no wall split move that is consistent. Like, his all down for 3 on the wall was still plus 20, and this is fine. This is actually even better, because when you hit someone on the wall with that, you could like put the opponent into a free mix. Now it's like a commitment, a big commitment. His combo damage is average now compared because other characters got buffed. But I think in the way he was used to be played in Season 1, Shaheen was not a healthy character in Season 1. Because when Shaheen was in heat, he was so strong and so dangerous with his loop that 50% of your life was gone, and the mix-up were also deathly. It was not a healthy situation. Right now though, for example, when you hit someone after the guard break, the 4-2-3, it's a mix-up between sides of 1+2 and other tools. You have, on the other hand, you have sides of 1+2 to apply pressure against someone on the wall. If in certain situations, sides of 1+2 even hits grounded, which is very helpful to give the opponent an action, you know? You're forcing the opponent to take action. In general, you need to do a lot of work to realign with Shaheen. You need to utilize the neutrals so well to make him work. And compared to other characters in Season 2, this is work that you need to do with Shaheen to make him work. But he has still great tools. And I think if you're a fundamentally strong player, you will do great with Shaheen. But it's not easy. It's definitely not easy in this season. In Season 1, you had like options to cheese your opponent out with like, well, not cheese out, like to put your opponent in forcing 50-50s. These are gone, basically. There are more layers for Shaheen in Season 2, which is overall good for Tekken 8, because people complained about the force 50-50s, and I get it, it was not healthy, and I didn't like the gameplay with Shaheen as well. But in Season 2, since you don't have it, you need to apply other stuff to make it work, which is sides of 1+2, down 1, back 2, forward 4, still gives wall split close to the wall, and sometimes down for 3. And if you're close to the wall, you still have great keep out tools with your jabs. You can kind of counter confirm 1-4. You can even do what I didn't mention, 1-2 cancel, which is also great to bait some people with your follow-ups. Yeah. So it's not easy to make him work, but he can definitely be annoying in this game. Back 2. I annoyed a lot of people with back 2 in this season, I have to say. 1-2 is minus 11. If you delay it, people can sidestep it to the right. But yeah, you need to use more tools with Shaheen basically. Which is not easy, but you will get rewarded. I'm pretty sure about that. The unfortunate thing is, other characters in this game, in Season 2, don't need to work that hard compared to Shaheen to make their gameplay more successful. But he has still great tools. You need to realign, you need to like adjust your moves and tracking. Don't be too greedy, but she is still very strong. For example, what also is a buff, when you're on the back and you do this, you usually do this, right? To hit the opponent in the back, to get a guaranteed follow. What I like to do, because this is a new thing, is this. because 4-3 plus 4. But yeah, I think overall, but to summarize everything, Shaheen is still a good character, not as strong as before in season 1, but in season 1 he was good in an unhealthy way. They removed that. Now he needs to rely on his new moves and his old moves that got nerfed, and in the combination with these, with this fact, needs to work harder to make this character more successful. But I think it's doable.